Hi guys, life lesson for today. Does science prove the existence of God? For a long time people believed something simple. Science explains the universe, faith explains belief. And the assumption was the two were moving further apart. But something interesting has happened. The deeper science explores the universe, the more it discovers something unexpected. Order, structure, mathematics, information. Some of the greatest scientists in history have admitted how strange that is. The physicist Albert Einstein once said, "The most incomprehensible thing about the universe itself is that it is comprehensible. It behaves in a way that the human mind can understand." But why should a universe that supposedly appeared randomly be governed by elegant mathematical laws that human intelligence can discover? The famous astronomer Fred Hoyle, studying the physics required for life, concluded, "A common-sense interpretation of the facts suggests that a super-intellect has monkeyed with the physics." Hoyle was not a preacher, he was one of the leading astrophysicists of the 20th century. Yet the precise conditions required for life looked astonishingly like design. The Nobel Prize-winning physicist Paul Dirac made a similar observation. God is a mathematician of a very high order. Because the deeper scientists explore reality, the more they discover the universe runs on mathematics. And mathematics is not physical. You cannot see it or touch it, yet it governs everything. Even Stephen Hawking acknowledged this mystery when he wrote, "What is it that breathes fire into the equations and makes a universe for them to describe?" Physics can describe the laws of the universe, but it cannot explain why those laws exist at all. Then there is the discovery that the universe appears finely tuned for life. The strength of gravity, the charge of electrons, the forces that hold atoms together. If these constants were even slightly different, life could not exist. The theoretical physicist Paul Davies wrote, "The impression of design is overwhelming." Then scientists discovered something else that changed the conversation completely. Information. Every living cell in your body contains DNA. DNA is not just chemistry, it is code. Inside that tiny molecule is a four-letter chemical alphabet, storing the instructions needed to build and operate a living organism. The human genome contains roughly 3 billion letters of genetic information, enough to fill thousands of books. Now think about something very simple. Books have authors, music has composers, computer code has programmers. Whenever we encounter complex, structured information, especially instructions, we instinctively recognize the presence of a mind. A blueprint implies a designer, a program implies a programmer, a language implies intelligence. DNA is not random chemistry. It is biological instruction manual telling cells how to build eyes, lungs, brains, bones, skin, and the astonishing machinery of life. The molecular biologist Francis Collins, who led the Human Genome Project, described DNA as the language of God. Because the deeper scientists study life, the more it looks less like chaos and more like encoded information. And information always raises the same question. Where did the information come from? Chance struggles to produce organised instruction, but intelligence does not. Which leads to a profound question. If the blueprint of life contains vast amounts of information, who wrote the code? There is another moment in history that reveals something profound about the universe. In 1945, scientists detonated the first atomic bomb during the Trinity test. At the centre of the project was physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer. When the bomb exploded, releasing unimaginable energy from the atom, Oppenheimer recalled a line from ancient scripture. "Now I am become death, the destroyer of the worlds." What he meant was this. Inside the atom, something far too small to see, lies immense power. Science did not create that power, science discovered it. It revealed what was already built into the structure of reality. Think about that. The atom, one of the smallest building blocks of the universe, contains energies capable of lighting cities, powering submarines, or destroying civilizations. For thousands of years, humanity had no idea such power existed inside matter itself, which raises an obvious question. If the universe contains such extraordinary precision, power, and hidden potential, where did that structure come from? Because the deeper science explores reality, the less it looks like chaotic and accidental. It looks structured, ordered, and astonishingly powerful. Less like random debris and more like a system built with intention. And then modern astrophysics discovers something even more extraordinary. For centuries, people believed space was mostly empty. But science now tells us that about 85% of matter in the universe is invisible. It is called dark matter. Dark matter does not emit light. It cannot be seen with telescopes, yet its gravitational influence is so powerful that without it, galaxies would fly apart. The Milky Way and countless other galaxies appear to be held together by vast invisible halos of dark matter. Something unseen is acting like a cosmic framework holding the universe together. So, the deeper science explores the universe, the less it looks like a simple empty void. Instead, it looks like an extraordinary, complex system. Hidden structure, hidden forces, hidden energy, hidden matter holding everything together. Which raises another profound question. If the universe is built on layers of structure we are only beginning to understand, what else might be built into the fabric of reality? Because the deeper science looks, the more the universe resembles something astonishingly intricate. Not chaos, structure, not randomness, order, and perhaps, just perhaps, a universe whose design points to intelligence beyond itself. Which leaves us with one powerful question. Did all of this happen by accident, or does it point to something intentional, something purposeful, something that requires a mind behind it? If the universe had a beginning and is governed by laws and information, then its source would logically exist beyond it, beyond space, beyond time, beyond matter, an all-powerful creator capable of establishing the laws of reality itself, which sounds remarkably like what people have called God for thousands of years. So perhaps science hasn't removed God from the equation, perhaps God is the one providing the equations. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.